What's up guys, Chris here. We're back. Final Fantasy X is back. In this video, we're going to take a look at everything that came with the update and the Final Fantasy X collaboration. I think they did a really good job for the summon banners in this event, although I do have one major gripe that I've had this gripe before in collaboration events in War of the Visions, so we'll talk about that as we get to the end of the video. But in general, they did a really good job providing value with these summon banners, so we'll talk about that. We'll go through the shops, see if there's any good deals in the shops, and then we're going to talk about a couple of the big updates that they had with this week. That includes updates to trust stones, and we also have 6-star equipment, so we're going to touch on those at the beginning of the video real quick. If you guys like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, red button below. Let's jump into it. All right guys, the first thing I want to talk about here is the daily purchase bonuses, and I know this is a video for free to play, but we also talk about budget players as well. I just wanted to point out that the first 2 daily purchase bonuses that they added this week are 5 rainbow spheres and 10 rainbow spheres. So if you're short on rainbow spheres, I still am. You've been upgrading vision cards, or you don't have the rainbow spheres to upgrade all of your vision cards or characters. Coming in here is paying $1 for 1 day and then $1 for 2 days, so $2 for 15 rainbow spheres. That's actually a pretty good deal, and you'll have something to spend that paid visiore on when we get to the shops. I'll show you that. So I just wanted to point this out. If you're like a super light spender, you don't mind throwing $1 here, $1 there, a couple bucks at the game, 15 rainbow spheres for $2. This is actually a really good deal. Generally, rainbow spheres are like almost like $1 a piece or even more in some of these packs. Just wanted to point that one out here in case you missed it on the daily purchase bonuses. The next thing I want to talk about is 6-star equipment. Now, we're not actually going to get into 6-star equipment, and my advice here for 6-star equipment would be to come in here and just make sure you're doing your dailies every single day and collecting these crafting medals. You don't have to jump into 6-star equipment right now. These crafting medals will be limited, so you're going to be limited on the materials to bring your equipment to 6-star. So the advice right now would be just collect your crafting materials. Don't worry about actually making 6-star equipment right now. You can kind of treat it like trust stones, where you can just collect the materials needed to do this and then dive into it later. Don't bother diving into it right now. That would be my personal advice. Now, speaking of trust stones, one of the absolutely huge updates they added with trust stones, just in case you missed this, is the ability to forge or dismantle and reforge trust stones. So if I go in here and, for example, we forge, we'll just say an AP trust stone. This one is for all of you who watched our trust stone guide. If I forge an AP trust stone, okay, we got pierce attack up 3. Pierce attack up 3 is not the max bonus, so we want to reforge this. What you can do is click this dismantle and reforge button right here, and it's going to reforge the stone for you all in one click. This is absolutely huge. You can just keep re-clicking here and not having to go back out to the menu, dismantle the stone, reforge it, go back out to the menu, dismantle the stone, reforge it. So they drastically increased or decreased the amount of clicks you have to do. This is a critical hit rate up 4. We're going to keep that stone. But if you want to keep reforging the stone, and you need to, just this morning I had to reforge a stone like 15 times to test this feature out, and it works great. So this is absolutely huge for all of you who have been putting off trust stones. This is a really big deal to be able to reforge these stones, so it's a good time to jump in now. It takes a whole lot less time to get the bonuses that you want. All right, let's head over to the summons. So we go over the summons, and there's some really great stuff here. And you do get a free 10-time summon every single day. I do want to point out that Auron and Yuna are in this summon. They're not increased drop rate, but they are in this summon. So there's Auron right here, and trust me, Yuna's down there. And the reason I'm bringing that up is if you're going after Auron or Yuna, you're wanting to get one of these 2 characters, you might want to wait until these 10-time summons are over before you go pulling on the banners. And you have 41, I mean, this is 41 days, but you have 41 days for these banners, so you can definitely wait till your 10-time summons are over. The absolute worst thing would be to jump into one of these banners, spend like 30 or 34,000 and get one of these 2 characters, and then like the next day on this free pull, you pull them. So that would be painful. Don't do that to yourself. Wait until the free summons are over before you jump into the Final Fantasy X banners. I do, before we get into Valefor, I do want to talk about, in the planning guide, we talked a little bit about Auron, and I wanted to touch on Auron because I wanted to clarify what I said about Auron. I said he's probably not worth going for, and a lot of people are saying, what, Auron's not a good character? No, he's a really good character, especially with his master ability 2. My problem with Auron as a character is that the cost it takes to get him, just expect that you're going to pity, which is going to be 36,000 visiore to get him. But my problem with Auron is that he's not that much different from other ice slash units like Velric or Laswell or Gilgamesh. He can be a really good part of an ice slash team, but he's not that much different from some of the non-limited units in the game. I just wanted to clarify my thoughts on that. Auron is a really good unit. He can be a very strong damage and DPS unit. I think I have him in the Tonberry tier in our tier list, so I still think he is that good of a unit. He has auto hits, he's got good debuffs, he's got really high attack, he does a lot of good things. He's just not that different from other units in the game. On the other hand, Yuna is very different from other units in the game. She still might be one of the best support units in the game. So if you're choosing between going for one of these two units, and you do have to choose, we're going to talk about that in a second, I would be going for Yuna. I think she's just a better overall unit. Okay, that's talking about the units. If you're going for these units, the first thing you do is you want to go to the step-ups. The reason why is in these step-ups,
a few moments later.
All right, we're back through the magic of editing. And by the way, my game has really, BlueStacks has really been struggling, crashing with the game. So let me know in the comment section below if you guys have been having troubles with that since the anniversary event. I've been having like 2 or 3 months. Game's crashing a lot on me. Anyway, let's jump back in. If you're going for one of these two characters, what you do is you jump in here. You're going to do the 9 step up first. I'm going to go to Yuna's because that's what we prefer to go for Yuna here. You get 2 free summons here. You still get the medals. So these are going to be medal pities. They're not going to be a pity where you get the unit on the banner. You're going to be doing the 36,000 total visiore because you get 2 free summons. So it's 40,000 worth of summons with 2 free summons, coins. Basically, it breaks down to 36,000. Come in, do the 9 step up first. These are great. You get Blossoms of Paradise. You still get the coins right here. Where is it at? You get the 100 A type coins to pity the unit. Now, I do want to point out something. 100 A type reissue coins right there. If I go over to Auron's banner, you're going to see 100 B type coins. These are not a shared pity, and that's my huge gripe with this system. We're going to get into that, talk about it when we talk about or look at the Mog shop. We'll talk about that. I'll go through kind of my problems with that, but just want to make you aware. If you go in, you spend 30,000 or so, and you pull Yuna kind of late, if you want Yuna and Auron, you have to completely restart that process. So you're not going to be having a shared pity between these two units. All right, let's talk about Valefor. Really, really great vision card. They have a five step here, 10,000 visiore guaranteed. This is great. This is what we always look for as budget players. So if you need the Esper and vision card, definitely grab this. Whether or not you play light, this is actually a really great Esper and vision card combo. So this is highly recommended. But I do want to point out they have somewhere down here. Oh, we'll point out this Suteki de Na. They also came back with this 5 times guaranteed summon, the step up summon here. Fantastic. I believe we've had collaboration events in the past where when they rerun these vision cards, they did not have step ups to pick them up. So this is actually another awesome thing. If you missed Suteki, you're one of these people who maybe started around the anniversary and you need this card because you're running like Celeste, Astrius, and Tidus as your team. This is a great vision card to pick up. Really glad they did. They step up here. Also wanted to point out that they have a 10 times summon 2,000 paid guaranteed for this card, and they have that for Valefor as well. This is crazy that they have these 2,000 paid banners to pick these up. So if you're willing to drop a few bucks on the game, these are awesome. I don't think they've ever done an Esper vision card combo for 2,000 paid, if I'm not mistaken. So usually these paid visiore, it goes for about 3 to 4 times value when you're talking about its value versus free visiore and other stuff that you buy. This is going to be 5 to 1 value because you spend 10,000 on the step up to guarantee yourself the vision card in Esper, or you spend 2,000 paid. So this is one of the best paid deals in the game, is when they do 2,000 paid to guarantee a vision card. The fact this comes with an Esper is just gravy on top of it. That's by far the best deal out of here. So if you're going for anything out of this event, these 2 vision cards, probably the best things out of it. And then Yuna coming in as the unit I would go for next, Auron probably last. and that not having a shared pity system between these two units really sucks. Anyway, let's move on to the shop. There's not a lot to talk about here. There's actually not very many good deals, in my opinion, in the shop. You go over to this early summer shop. Basically, you're just going to pick up your XP cubes every day. Blossom of Paradise and Rainbow Spheres for Gil. That's obvious. None of these visiore packs I think are worth it. I think Diggs like bought this skip ticket pack. No, skip ticket, no. No, you don't need these for visiore. Certainly not a thing. There's a collaboration reissue shop. So this will give you, if you scroll down, this is where you get the shards for like Suteki and Valefor. So just in case, they've added like these banners on top of here, and some players missed that you can actually scroll down and get to the shop that they've always had. Just wanted to point that out in case you missed it. The 10 visiore shop. Okay, so if you do go in and you spend that $1 on, or $2 on getting the 15 rainbow spheres, you're gonna have like a little bit of paid visiore. You can come in here and grab these 10 paid packs. The best pack, this is pretty good for 100 paid too. The actual best pack is this U10 one right here. You get a rainbow broadstone, 3 blossoms of paradise for 10 paid visiore. So again, highly recommend everybody comes in here. They spend $1 on 2 different days, get those 15 rainbow spheres, and then have enough paid to pick up at least this pack. Whenever they come out with these shops that are like the 10 or like 15 or whatever paid visiore for all these things, you definitely want to take advantage of those. Really good value. Okay, in the mod shop here, you're going to have your summon medals for Valefor, which you shouldn't have to worry about anything here. You're going to spend these on the shards and then use your stars, vision stars, to max out that card. There's the reissue summon medals A. So this is what I was talking about. Reissue summon medal A, you see Yuna in here. Reissue summon medal B, you see Auron in here. And I really have a problem with this. I think that Gumi is highly underestimating, or they're like outsmarting themselves here. They think that, oh, if somebody spends 30,000 on Yuna and they want Yuna and Auron, they're gonna spend the other, 30 or 36,000 to get Auron too, instead of sharing the pity, and then you have to use all those summon medals on the shards for the units. For me personally, I honestly think, for example, if you spent 30,000 and you got Yuna, right, and you were 10,000 visiore away, if this was a shared pity, if these two shops were one, I'd be like, oh man, I could spend 10,000 more visiore and guarantee myself Auron too. So then I'd end up with Yuna and Auron, but then I wouldn't have those medals to spend on shards. So you'd end up spending the visiore on grabbing shards and mind spheres and all that stuff it takes to actually build the unit. I actually think people would be incentivized a lot more to pull on these banners and spend more on these characters overall, like a long-term spend, rather than if you look at it and you say, well, I just spent 30,000 on Yuna and I have to start over if I want Auron too. I'll just forget Auron, and I'm just gonna put all of those medals into grabbing Yuna shards. I'll just forget Auron and not spend anything. I actually think players would be more incentivized to spend if these shops were shared pity. That's my personal opinion. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. If I were in that situation, I would certainly just say, oh, forget Auron. I'm not gonna go diving in, back into having to re-pity the unit. But if I was 8,000 away, 10,000 away from pulling on the Yuna banner, I would 100% pity the second unit. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. I hate this. I hope they change this in the future. They have done it before with shared pity. I think they had the anniversary banners with like the shared pity, the Final Fantasy rerun units, whatever. Anyway, you have this reissue vision card. This is the same thing for grabbing Suteki shards. So when you do that step up here, I do want to point out, if you do the Final Fantasy X event, you get these summon tickets. These give you Tidus shards. By the way, I just can't wrap my head around saying Tidus, so I always say Tidus. Sorry about it. So anyway, make sure you pick these up. Whether or not you're building Tidus or any of these Final Fantasy X units, make sure you come in here, because basically this is, if you have Tidus at level 99, or you can get him to level 99, if you summon more shards with him here, you can grab mind spheres for like Auron and Yuna, because they have the shared mind spheres. So make sure you do that. All right, last thing we'll talk about, you go over to the far plane. We have a new event this week. You do have 3 times experience and acquired JP up. This isn't that big of a deal. They didn't add a nightmare difficulty version for either of these quests. Make sure you do come in here and do your elemental clears for each of these quests. You can see I haven't done those. A lot of the people who have cleared these before haven't done the elemental clears. So make sure you come in here. If you're one of these people that grinds these elemental clears, make sure you come in there. Do that for the Final Fantasy X events. Path of the Conqueror, this is new. So I've worked through 10 of these. I thought there might only be 10. I think there's a lot more. Anyway, the rewards in here, you get like 50 visiore for each of them. That's probably the best thing. So you'll collect like 1,000 visiore going through here, and you get a couple hundred adamantite and growth eggs and some of these nameless hero memories. It's decent rewards through here. The visiore probably the best thing, but come in here. These are not very difficult. At least the ones I've done so far haven't been difficult. I'm sure they'll get more difficult, but most players should be able to clear the majority of these Path of the Conqueror quest events. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below if there's anything that I missed. If you guys are playing on Final Fantasy X, I'm not personally doing it. I do already have a level 120 Tidus for my water team. I do not have Yuna and Auron. I'm saving up for some of the wind stuff and lightning stuff coming up in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you in the next one.